June 2015, Core 1, Question 5. This first part was done really well, sort of parts A and B. Part C was a bit tougher. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to explain that one. There's lots of different ways of doing it. But starting at the beginning, as a teacher, it's nice to see an odd number here. It challenges people a little bit. But we're going to put 3 over 2 there. You always halve that number there, squared. And we're going to take that off. Take away 9 over 4. But remember, we've also got to add the 2 here. I'm going to write that 2 in terms of quarters. 2 is 8 quarters. And so, completing the square is x plus 3 over 2 all squared minus a quarter. What are the coordinates of the vertex then? Well, the coordinates of the vertex are what makes that thing 0, which is minus 3 over 2, and whoops, the lowest it could possibly be is minus a quarter. What does that graph look like then? So have a little think about what that graph looks like. It's got a minimum at minus 3 over 2, that's down here somewhere, minus a quarter. So it's looking like this. We already know it's crossing at 2 there, so it looks something like that. The line of symmetry on that one there then is simply this line down here. And that line down there is crossing through the x value. It has to say x, the x value minus 3 over 2. So on to the challenging bit. The way I like to do this, I like to think, there's loads of ways of doing it. There's a core 2 way of doing it, where you just replace all these x's. So you replace the y with a y take away 4, and you replace all of these x's with an x take away 2. There's a very algebraic way of doing it. Just multiply that out, it gives you the right answer. The way I did it when I was thinking about it, though, was I thought, well, look, here's the minimum point of this thing here. And we're going to move this minimum 2 to the right and 4 up. So it's going to be moving 2 to the right and 4 up. So if I did add 2 to the right and add 4 up, that means my new minimum is going to be a half, and 4 up from there is actually 15 quarters. And that gives me that this equation is going to be y equals x minus a half all squared plus 15 quarters, just reversing what we did in the earlier part. Well, when you multiply that out, of course, you get x squared minus x plus a quarter plus the extra 15 quarters to go together to make a plus 4 on the end. And I think that's a nice sort of graphical way of seeing how it works. Here is the mark scheme again, some funny printing, sorry about that. Both versions there, that was the version I wrote at the top of the screen, and that's what I just talked about there. And there's the examiner's report. Since this was the first time a question like this had been set, lots of different approaches. I think that's going to come up again soon.